Hi everybody, in this morning video from City Insider, I will bring the latest Manchester City update. We'll start with Kalvin Phillips set to be offered an escape route. According to reports, England star Kalvin Phillips is set to be offered an escape route. Following his nightmare spells at Manchester City and West Ham, Phillips has endured a rough couple of seasons following his £42 million move from boyhood club Leeds United to Man City ahead of the 2022-23 campaign. The 28-year-old was unable to dislodge Rodri at Man City as Pep Guardiola only used him sparingly before he headed to West Ham on loan during this year's January transfer window. This transfer was viewed as a good move at the time, but Phillips has found life difficult at the London Stadium. He has slipped down the pecking order after making several clear mistakes. Phillips made a 21-minute cameo appearance off the bench on Saturday against Newcastle at St James Park. While he was on the pitch, his foul on Anthony Gordon gifted Eddie Howe's side a penalty, and the hosts went on to score 3 late goals to win 4-3 in a 7-goal thriller. When leaving the ground, Phillips gave West Ham fans the middle finger after one supporter appeared to call him useless, given how poorly Phillips has performed in recent weeks. West Ham are unlikely to sign him permanently in the summer, and he is also unlikely to feature for England at the European Championships. The Sun are reporting that Phillips is set to be offered a transfer escape route as Leeds United are plotting to take him back to Elland Road as long as they clinch an immediate top-flight return. It is said that Leeds United want to offer Phillips a chance to rebuild his career and reckon Man City would do business for around £30 million to get him off the books. Regarding a potential stumbling block, the report adds, the midfield star revealed his favourite future club. Newcastle United midfielder Bruno Guimaraes has commented on his future amid reports linking him with Manchester City and Liverpool. The Magpies paid around £40 million to sign the Brazil international from Lyon during the 2022 January transfer window as they beat Premier League rivals to his signature. Guimaraes quickly established himself as a fan favourite at St James Park, but Newcastle owners PIF may be forced to sell him in the summer amid their growing financial fair play fears. Earlier this year, it was reported that Newcastle are ready to cash in on Guimaraes, who is understood to have a £100 million release clause in his contract. After Eddie Howe's side overachieved to qualify for the Champions League last season, this campaign has been more difficult as they have had major injury issues to deal with. But Guimaraes has been one of their shining lights with 8 goal involvements in his 27 Premier League outings. Guimaraes has been asked about his Newcastle future. Court Offside are reporting that Chelsea, Liverpool and Man City are interested in signing him, and he's admitted that he has other goals to achieve before he retires. It's always been my dream to play here, England. I've always followed the Premier League. It was always my dream to be here. Guimaraes told reporters, I think ever since I joined Newcastle everything's been good in my life, professionally and personally. I'm very happy to be playing amongst the best in the best league in the world. I absolutely plan to play here for a long time, but I have other goals as well of moving, but this is something more down the line. I'm really happy to be here in the league. Pep sends Liverpool title message. Pep Guardiola has attempted to crank up the pressure on Liverpool by declaring Jurgen Klopp's side favourites to win the Premier League title after his Manchester City were held at home by fellow contenders Arsenal. The Reds are 2 points clear at the summit after their 2-1 home victory over Brighton on Sunday was followed by a dreary goalless stalemate at the Etihad that leaves Arsenal in second and City a further point adrift with an inferior goal difference to their 2 main rivals. City struggled to break down the Gunners' defensive block and failed to score at home in a Premier League game for the first time since October 2021. And asked if Liverpool were now favourites for the title, Guardiola said, yes. Always who is first is favourites, second is Arsenal and we are third. It's not in our hands. All we can do is think of Aston Villa, who City play on Wednesday. If you are top of the league, like we've been before, you are favourites. We prefer to win, obviously. We take the point. A tight game. I recognized my team. I'm so proud. They tried. Our intention was there. We'll see what happens. We need to refresh our minds and legs before Aston Villa. The draw ended Arsenal's run of 8 consecutive Premier League victories, with Mikel Arteta unsure over whether it ultimately will prove a good point for his team. I don't know, said the Gunners' boss. You want to win the game. You prepare to win it. If you cannot win it, make sure you draw it. We did that. 11 months ago we were here and the story was very different. You have to make steps as a team and we've done that. We still have many more to come. No way can you be fully happy with a point. City-handed boost in Paqueta pursuit. According to Football Insider, West Ham are expecting Man City to return for the services of Paqueta following the conclusion of the 2023-24 term. The report claims that David Moyes' side will not stand in the way of a switch for the Brazil international to Pep Guardiola's title-chasing Citizens. It is understood that Paqueta is very keen on a move to the blue side of Manchester, where he could compete for major honours surrounded by world-class teammates. Following yesterday's goalless draw with Mikel Arteta's Arsenal, Man City are third in the Premier League standings, 3 points behind leaders Liverpool. Guardiola's troops are set to face an incredibly busy April, pitting their wits in the Champions League vs Real Madrid before facing Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-finals at Wembley. It was widely reported that Man City were keen on a transfer for Paqueta last summer, and the deal was said to be quite advanced before collapsing. The Citizens and the Hammers had agreed an £80 million fee in principle, which would have seen the Brazilian swap to the London Stadium for the Etihad ahead of the 2023-24 campaign. However, with an FA investigation into potential betting breaches hanging over the midfielder, Guardiola's side moved on to the acquisition of other targets. Late in the summer window, Man City secured the services of Matheus Nunes from Wolverhampton Wanderers in a deal worth £53 million between the two sides. Paqueta's current deal at the London Stadium expires in the summer of 2027, but it is claimed that West Ham will accept an offer of £80 million for the player this summer. And that's the final content of today's video. Like, subscribe to support City Insider.